Magnesium is often overlooked, yet it's one of the most critical minerals for maintaining a healthy metabolism and stable body weight. It's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which directly influence how efficiently you convert food into energy. When magnesium levels drop, those processes slow down, and your body starts to shift from a fat-burning state into a fat-storing one. Most people don't realize how essential this mineral is for every part of the metabolic system. Every time you eat, magnesium plays a role in breaking down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into usable fuel. Without enough of it, your cells struggle to create ATP, the molecule your body uses for energy. This inefficiency doesn't just make you feel tired. It also means more of what you eat ends up being stored as fat because the body isn't able to utilize energy efficiently. When the body lacks magnesium, the liver and muscles cannot properly store and release glucose. The pancreas has to work harder to produce insulin, trying to push glucose into the cells that are already resistant due to the deficiency. This constant strain eventually leads to elevated insulin levels, and high insulin makes it nearly impossible to burn fat. You can think of magnesium as the gatekeeper for insulin. It allows the hormone to do its job effectively. When magnesium is missing, that gate stays closed, and your cells can't receive the message to take in glucose. The result is not just fatigue, but also an increase in fat accumulation, particularly around the midsection, which is the area most associated with metabolic dysfunction. Beyond energy production, magnesium is also essential for maintaining a calm nervous system. When levels drop, your body becomes more reactive to stress. Cortisol, the stress hormone, increases, and cortisol itself promotes fat storage, especially visceral fat. This is why people under chronic stress often gain weight even if their diet doesn't change much. The body interprets stress as a survival threat and begins conserving energy by storing fat. Low magnesium amplifies that entire cycle. The more stress you experience, the more magnesium you lose through urine. And the more magnesium you lose, the more stressed and anxious you feel. A vicious circle that drives both emotional eating and fat storage. Magnesium deficiency also affects sleep, which has a direct impact on weight regulation. When you're not sleeping well, your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, become unbalanced. You wake up hungrier, crave more sugar and carbs, and end up eating more calories than your body needs. Magnesium plays a major role in the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. When it's low, you struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep, and that disrupted sleep contributes to metabolic slowdown and weight gain. So fixing magnesium deficiency doesn't just help your metabolism, it also improves the quality of your rest, which is one of the most powerful fat-burning tools your body has. The digestive system also depends heavily on magnesium. It helps muscles in the gut contract properly, ensuring that food moves smoothly through the intestines. Without it, you may experience bloating, constipation, and slower digestion, all of which can make you feel heavier and more inflamed. Magnesium also activates enzymes that help absorb nutrients. So even if you're eating a healthy diet, a lack of magnesium means you're not fully benefiting from those nutrients. This can lead to a cycle where the body feels deprived, signaling more hunger and leading to overeating. The heart and muscles are major consumers of magnesium, and when they don't get enough, you might experience fatigue, muscle weakness, or cramps. These symptoms discourage physical activity, which further reduces calorie burning and promotes fat storage. Magnesium acts like the key that unlocks insulin's effectiveness. When it's missing, insulin can't perform its job efficiently, leading to both elevated blood sugar and fat storage. Magnesium also influences the enzymes that metabolize carbohydrates and fats. When magnesium is lacking, the enzymes that normally convert food into usable energy slow down, leading to incomplete oxidation of glucose. This means you get less energy from the same food, leaving you fatigued and craving more sugar to compensate. It's a metabolic loop that keeps you trapped in a cycle of eating and storing. The brain also senses the low energy availability and responds by slowing your metabolism further to conserve energy. This survival response was useful thousands of years ago when food was scarce, but today it just leads to more stored fat. In addition, magnesium deficiency increases inflammation in the body. particularly in the liver and adipose tissue. This inflammation further interferes with insulin's ability to function. When inflammatory molecules flood the bloodstream, they disrupt the signaling pathways that insulin uses to communicate with cells. The result is even more insulin resistance, which keeps blood sugar elevated and fat locked away. It's like a chain reaction. Low magnesium leads to poor insulin sensitivity, which increases inflammation, which then worsens insulin resistance even more. Breaking that cycle requires restoring magnesium to optimal levels so the body can respond properly again. Another critical point is that insulin resistance doesn't just make it difficult to lose fat, it also blocks fat oxidation during fasting or exercise. In a normal, healthy metabolism, when you skip a meal or start working out, insulin drops and the body taps into fat stores for energy. But if your insulin is chronically elevated because of magnesium deficiency, that fat never gets released. You may feel weak, dizzy, or tired when fasting or exercising because your body isn't accessing stored fat properly. This is why many people find intermittent fasting difficult until their magnesium levels improve. Once magnesium is replenished, insulin sensitivity increases and fat becomes available as fuel, making fasting and weight loss feel natural rather than forced. Restoring magnesium doesn't just fix a nutrient gap, it resets the body's hormonal and metabolic systems. When insulin starts working efficiently again, blood sugar levels stabilize, cravings subside, and energy improves. You begin burning fat for fuel instead of constantly storing it. This process happens gradually, but the difference is noticeable. Less bloating, more energy, and steady weight loss without extreme dieting. Magnesium gives insulin the ability to do its job effectively, and when that balance is restored, your metabolism shifts back into fat-burning mode. When the body becomes low in magnesium, one of the first things to go out of balance is cortisol, the primary stress hormone. Magnesium is required to regulate the adrenal glands, which are responsible for producing cortisol. When magnesium levels drop, the adrenals become overstimulated and cortisol levels rise. Elevated cortisol is one of the most powerful fat-storing hormones, especially around the belly. This hormonal imbalance makes your body think it's under constant stress, even when you're not, leading to a state of chronic fight or flight. In that state, your body's priority shifts from burning fat to conserving energy and storing it for survival. The result is stubborn weight gain that seems to come from nowhere and won't go away, no matter how clean your diet is. High cortisol also has a direct effect on your appetite and cravings. When cortisol rises, it signals the brain to replenish energy stores by increasing hunger, particularly for sugary and high-carb foods. These foods provide quick energy, but they also spike blood sugar and insulin, which causes even more fat storage. You feel more stable, energized, and satisfied, which naturally leads to better control over your eating habits. Ultimately, magnesium's role in controlling cortisol and cravings is about restoring balance to the body. When stress hormones calm down, blood sugar stabilizes, mood improves, and the compulsion to eat for comfort begins to fade. You start to experience steady energy throughout the day, fewer cravings, and a metabolism that works with you instead of against you. The thyroid gland is the body's metabolic engine, and magnesium plays a crucial role in keeping that engine running smoothly. Every cell in your body depends on thyroid hormones to regulate how quickly it burns energy. And magnesium is one of the key minerals that supports both the production and activation of those hormones. When magnesium is low, the thyroid cannot function properly and the entire metabolism begins to slow down. This leads to fatigue, cold intolerance, water retention, and gradual weight gain even when you haven't changed your diet. Many people assume their metabolism is just slowing because of age, but in reality, their thyroid is underperforming due to a simple mineral imbalance that can be corrected. Magnesium is needed to convert the inactive thyroid hormone T4 into its active form T3. T3 is what actually drives your metabolism. It tells your cells to burn fuel for energy. When magnesium levels drop, that conversion slows, leaving you with plenty of T4 circulating but very little active T3. The body interprets this as an energy shortage and responds by conserving calories and storing fat. You might notice that your hands and feet are cold, you feel sluggish, and your energy dips throughout the day. This condition is often overlooked because blood tests may show normal T4 levels, even though T3 is low, giving the illusion that the thyroid is fine. The missing link is usually magnesium. Magnesium also supports the pituitary gland and hypothalamus, two brain centers that regulate thyroid function. The pituitary releases thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH, which tells the thyroid to produce hormones. When magnesium is deficient, this communication system becomes disrupted, and TSH levels can become either too high or too low. High TSH usually indicates that the thyroid is struggling to keep up, while low TSH can mean that the pituitary isn't sending enough signals. Both conditions slow metabolism and promote fat storage. Restoring magnesium helps normalize this communication, allowing the thyroid to respond properly and keep your metabolism stable. Another important aspect is that magnesium is essential for reducing inflammation in the thyroid gland. Chronic inflammation, often triggered by stress, processed foods, or nutrient deficiencies, can damage thyroid tissue and further suppress hormone production. Low magnesium allows inflammation to persist, while adequate magnesium levels calm the immune response, protecting the thyroid from oxidative stress. This protection is especially important for people with autoimmune thyroid conditions like Hashimoto's disease, where magnesium can help reduce flare-ups and support thyroid tissue repair. When inflammation is reduced, the thyroid can focus on producing hormones efficiently, which directly enhances metabolic rate and energy output. The connection between magnesium and thyroid health also ties back to the adrenal glands. When you're under chronic stress, your adrenals release cortisol, which can block the conversion of T4 to T3. Magnesium helps keep cortisol levels balanced, indirectly protecting thyroid function. If you're constantly stressed and magnesium deficient, your thyroid slows down as a protective mechanism, making weight loss nearly impossible. This is why people with low thyroid activity often experience not only fatigue but also anxiety, poor sleep, and muscle cramps, classic signs of magnesium deficiency. Replenishing magnesium quiets the adrenals, lowers cortisol, and gives the thyroid the environment it needs to perform at its best. Magnesium also plays a part in mitochondrial function. The mitochondria are the energy factories of your cells, and thyroid hormones act directly on them to increase energy production. But those same mitochondria need magnesium to create ATP, the molecule that powers everything you do. Without magnesium, thyroid hormones can't fully stimulate energy production, leaving you feeling tired no matter how much you sleep. This energy shortage makes it harder to stay active and maintain muscle mass, both of which are crucial for keeping metabolism high. When magnesium is restored, mitochondrial function improves, energy increases, and your body naturally starts burning more calories even at rest. One of the lesser-known effects of magnesium deficiency on thyroid health is how it affects digestion. Low thyroid function often slows down digestive motility, leading to constipation, bloating, and poor nutrient absorption. Magnesium helps relax smooth muscles in the intestines and stimulates bile flow from the liver, both of which aid digestion. Better digestion means better nutrient absorption, which allows your thyroid to receive the vitamins and minerals it needs to function efficiently. As digestion improves, your metabolism becomes more balanced, and weight loss becomes easier without extreme dieting. People who replenish magnesium often notice that their body temperature normalizes, energy becomes steady, and weight begins to shift, especially from stubborn areas like the lower belly and hips. The reason is simple: their thyroid can finally communicate properly with their cells. The energy that was once being conserved starts getting used again, and fat storage is reduced. In many cases, just by optimizing magnesium levels, individuals can experience what feels like a complete metabolic reset. The body transitions from a sluggish, energy-conserving state to one that is active, responsive, and naturally burning fat throughout the day. Modern life has created the perfect environment for magnesium depletion, and most people have no idea how much this affects their weight and overall health. Even if you eat what seems like a balanced diet, several factors in the modern world drain magnesium from your body faster than you can replenish it. One of the biggest culprits is chronic stress. Every time you experience stress, your adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline, and both hormones cause your body to use up magnesium rapidly. The more stress you face, whether emotional, physical, or environmental, the more magnesium you lose through urine. Over time, this constant drain leads to a deficiency that disrupts your metabolism, hormones, and energy balance. You may feel anxious, crave sugar, or experience muscle tightness without realizing these are all signals of low magnesium. Caffeine is another major factor. While coffee and energy drinks might give a quick boost, they also act as diuretics, causing you to excrete magnesium through your kidneys. The same goes for alcohol. A few drinks here and there might seem harmless, but alcohol interferes with magnesium absorption and increases its loss. Even people who drink occasionally can experience lowered magnesium levels if they also deal with stress, consume sugar, or have an unbalanced diet. Over time, this combination leads to a chronic depletion that keeps your body in a low-energy, fat-storing state. Sugar and processed foods compound the problem. When you eat refined carbohydrates, your body needs magnesium to metabolize them. The more sugar you consume, the more magnesium you use up. Yet processed foods, the ones most common in modern diets, contain almost no magnesium to begin with. It's a double loss. You're consuming foods that both require magnesium and fail to supply it. This is one of the main reasons why people who eat a high-sugar diet often experience fatigue, irritability, and weight gain. Their body's insulin response becomes impaired because magnesium is missing, and insulin resistance develops over time, making it nearly impossible to burn fat efficiently. Another overlooked cause is modern agricultural practices. The soil today contains far less magnesium than it did decades ago because of chemical fertilizers and intensive farming. Plants absorb minerals from the soil, so if the soil is depleted, the food grown in it will also be lacking. Even fresh vegetables and fruits now provide a fraction of the magnesium they once did. So, even if you eat healthy foods, you may still not be getting enough of this vital mineral. This explains why magnesium deficiency is so widespread even among people who focus on clean eating. It's not just what you eat, it's what's missing in the food supply itself. Certain medications also interfere with magnesium balance. Common drugs such as diuretics, birth control pills, antacids, and even some antibiotics increase magnesium loss or block its absorption. People who take these medications for months or years are at an even higher risk of deficiency. For example, antacids neutralize stomach acid, which is necessary for proper mineral absorption. Without enough acid, magnesium passes through the digestive system without being utilized. Over time, this leads to subtle but chronic symptoms: fatigue, muscle cramps, anxiety, and stubborn weight gain. When magnesium is depleted, it disrupts insulin, cortisol, thyroid function, and even sleep, all critical systems that regulate body weight. Stress burns magnesium. Magnesium loss raises cortisol. Cortisol increases fat storage, and poor sleep caused by magnesium deficiency worsens cravings and blood sugar instability. It becomes a chain reaction that traps you in a cycle of weight gain and low energy. That's why magnesium deficiency is often at the root of so many stubborn health problems that resist traditional dieting or exercise. Until magnesium levels are restored, the body remains in a state of biochemical imbalance that favors storing fat instead of burning it. Replenishing magnesium can reverse many of these effects, but it requires a consistent effort because the modern world is constantly depleting it. Eating magnesium-rich foods is the first step. Leafy greens like spinach, Swiss chard, and kale are excellent sources, as are pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews, avocados, and dark chocolate. However, because soil depletion and stress are constant, many people benefit from supplementation as well. Forms like magnesium glycinate, citrate, or malate are more easily absorbed and less likely to cause digestive discomfort. Hydration also matters because electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, and sodium work together to keep your cells balanced. Drinking enough water while ensuring you get these minerals can make a noticeable difference in energy and fat metabolism. The truth is that modern living sets us up for magnesium loss every single day. High stress, poor soil quality, processed food, and lifestyle habits slowly drain this mineral, leaving your metabolism sluggish and your hormones out of sync. Correcting this imbalance restores the natural rhythm of the body: steady energy, calm nerves, better sleep, balanced blood sugar, and improved fat burning. Once magnesium is replenished, your body can finally return to its natural, efficient state, where weight regulation happens automatically rather than through constant struggle. When the body finally gets enough magnesium, the entire metabolic system begins to shift in a positive direction. Restoring magnesium doesn't just fix a single deficiency, it resets multiple pathways that control energy, hormones, and fat burning. Once magnesium levels rise, insulin becomes more sensitive, meaning the body needs less of it to regulate blood sugar. This drop in insulin is one of the most powerful fat-burning switches you can activate naturally. With lower insulin, fat stored in cells can finally be released and used for energy. You start to notice that you feel full longer, have fewer cravings for sugar and carbs, and can go longer between meals without feeling fatigued or irritable. This isn't just willpower. It's your body working properly again. As magnesium levels normalize, cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to calm down. Cortisol and magnesium have an inverse relationship. When one is high, the other tends to be low. By replenishing magnesium, cortisol becomes balanced, which reduces the tendency to store fat around the midsection. And you also feel more relaxed, sleep improves, and emotional eating starts to fade. Many people notice that when they finally sleep deeply, their weight starts to shift even without dramatic changes in diet. That's because sleep is when your body restores hormonal balance, repairs tissues, and burns fat. Magnesium helps this process by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the arrest and digest mode that counteracts stress. Improved magnesium status also enhances thyroid function, which is vital for maintaining a healthy metabolism. The thyroid depends on magnesium to convert inactive T4 into active T3, the hormone that tells cells to burn energy. Once magnesium is replenished, this conversion improves and your metabolism starts to speed up naturally. You feel more energetic throughout the day, your digestion improves, and your body temperature normalizes. This renewed metabolic efficiency allows the body to use stored fat as fuel rather than holding onto it as a reserve. The sluggishness and fatigue that accompany low magnesium fade away, replaced by stable energy and a lighter, more active feeling. Magnesium also helps regulate the balance of other key electrolytes, especially potassium and sodium. These minerals work together to control cellular hydration, nerve impulses, and muscle contractions. When magnesium is low, the body often loses potassium, which leads to fatigue, muscle weakness, and irregular heartbeats. Once magnesium is restored, it helps retain potassium within cells, improving muscle tone and endurance. This is one reason why energy levels feel more consistent and exercise becomes easier. As you move more and feel stronger, your body burns more calories effortlessly, creating a sustainable foundation for maintaining a healthy weight. An often overlooked benefit of magnesium restoration is its effect on inflammation. Low magnesium increases inflammatory markers in the blood, which can make fat cells more resistant to releasing stored fat. When you raise magnesium levels, inflammation decreases, allowing the body to respond properly to hormones like insulin and leptin. Leptin is the hormone that tells your brain you've had enough to eat. When inflammation blocks leptin's signal, you never feel fully satisfied, leading to overeating. Restoring magnesium lowers inflammation, allowing leptin sensitivity to return and helping you naturally regulate hunger without counting calories or restricting food. As energy production becomes more efficient, the mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, begin to function better. Magnesium is required for the production of ATP, the molecule that powers every metabolic reaction in the body. When ATP production improves, you feel more alert, stronger, and mentally clear. This improvement in cellular energy translates to more movement, better exercise performance, and a faster metabolism. It's a domino effect. Better energy leads to more activity, which enhances fat burning, which then further improves metabolic flexibility.